Hey y'all, what's going on? It is Barb Meets World, and we are back again to sorry. I just slipped out. I'm sorry, y'all. My true feelings just slipped out a little bit. We are here to discuss the Real Housewives of New York City's season 15, episode 7, Dodging Rumors. Yeah. But before we get into all that, y'all, you already know what I'm about to ask you to do if you've been here before, which is to go on ahead and like the video for me. It helps me and my channel in terms of the algorithm, helps me to attract new subscribers such as yourself. So go on ahead, hit that like button for me, please, and thank you. Also, if you are not currently a subscriber, don't exactly know what you're waiting for, but go on ahead, hit the subscription button, become a Barb's babe. We would love to have you. Also, while you're at it, make sure you hit the notification bell so you know each and every time I make an upload, such as this one. And last but certainly not least, make sure you share me with all of your folks. You know, easy enough, right? Easy day. Let's get into this review, I guess you would say. And if you watch the episode, you already know why I'm making that face, y'all. Like, it's just not giving. It's just not giving. And I've said that week after week. And this episode especially really pissed me off because I didn't watch it when it premiered because I didn't even care. But when I went to rewatch and stuff, I was just like, are you guys serious? And I actually had to look in the mirror and ask myself, am I serious? Because the thing is, I actually, I actually saw on Instagram, like, where people were saying, oh my God, they're so upset about the episode. Like, they really played in our faces, this fake storyline. Like, I saw that, but I was like, let me not read too much into it. Like, you know, I don't like to watch other reviews, or I don't like to just dive too much into stuff before I actually come up here and talk to you guys. Because I like for you guys to get my raw, honest, unfiltered feedback straight from my mind without being, without me subconsciously consuming any other people's thoughts or opinions or anything like that. But I should have just rolled with that, because I still was annoyed in the end, even more annoyed because I actually sat here and made notes, tried to make thorough notes, only for, you know, things to just be for no reason at all. Why does this episode exist? Why does this franchise exist right now? Honestly, is what a lot of us are trying to figure out. Okay. But whatever. Before we even jump into the meat and potatoes of the actual episode, we get a little preview of what is to come later on. So it starts off with all this chatter from Brynn mainly, talking about rumors surrounding a certain person in the group, and them being a freak in the sheets apparently, and getting pregnant by somebody else. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, what are you talking about? And then in walks Rebecca, and that's where the scene, you know, and scene. Fast forward 4 days, or I should say rewind 4 days earlier, that's where the episode actually picks up on. And the first scene we actually do wind up getting is, speaking of Rebecca, is between her and Erin. They sit down for some lunch. Erin almost immediately brings up the rumor, or not the rumor, Brynn distasteful comment that she made at the party last week. Yeah, Erin brings that up immediately, pretty much, saying how Brynn has so much to say about how, like, oh, I didn't even know Norris from Rack had an award show. Just, you know, downplaying Rebecca's accomplishments and her success and all that. And luckily enough, I will say, although Rebecca thought it was distasteful, tacky, rude, and mean and all the things, she wasn't too fazed by it, which I appreciated, because she's like, at the end of the day, I have $100 million company, and what do you have? And I was like, that's a great question, Rebecca, because I don't care if we see later on in this episode, Brynn talking about her new app and stuff like that. But really, when you want to get down to the nitty gritty of things, Brynn, what the do you do? What is it that you do? We don't know. I can at least say that Rebecca Minkoff, I've seen her products before. And she, you know, it speaks for itself is how she put it in this scene, pretty much. And she's like, you know, I've been bit by bigger actual sharks, so this is nothing. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly how you don't even, she didn't even play into it, because that's probably what Brynn wanted, to make a moment out of it. And we're not giving Brynn any more moments. Brynn deserves no more moments. Okay. They also talk a bit about, Erin asked her about the Scientology of it all a little bit, but Rebecca, I feel like, was playing in our faces a little bit, because she knows that this is like what people really want to talk about, the real deal, Holyfield with it all. And she didn't really give us that. She's talking about, you know, yeah, she's Jewish on one hand, that's her religion. But then this, you know, Scientology kind of just guides the rest of like her life. Like that's the philosophy that she guides her life, or she follows her life through. Okay, I'm gonna let you get that off. I'm not gonna say too much about that, because quite frankly, I don't even care to say too much. If that's the story that you want to tell us, I'm not buying it, but I'm gonna let you guys do with it what you wish. Moving right along, we get this like 2.2 second scene between Ubah, or just Ubah, I should say. Ubah, she was shopping for like some more festive decor for Oliver's house. Go figure. And I'm just like, is this all we're gonna get from you? Is stuff about Oliver? Like, what about, like, she should be talking about her paint. I wanted to see her with a paintbrush in her hand. How about that? But no, instead, it's all about Oliver, and her painful periods. Moving on. Sai brings her daughter to, I don't know if that was Rebecca's studio, whatever. Rebecca actually got the opportunity to partner up with, which it's coincidentally enough, is Wicked officially out now? Yeah, she was able to do some collab and put out some merchandise in partnership with Wicked. So there's some really cool pieces that she showed Sai, and her daughter came through. Her daughter was like, oh my gosh, like, she was completely enamored, and she actually was kind enough to gift her daughter one of the handbags from the collection. So I thought that was really nice. And I'm like, you know what? And maybe Sai said it beforehand, I don't know. But later on in the episode, we get wind of this, of how Sai apparently in an interview, I guess, referred to Rebecca as boring. And of course, Rebecca didn't really appreciate that. And I was like, I hope that was before this, because I would have been like, give me that purse back. No, I wouldn't have did that. I would not have done that. I would not bring the kids into it. I would not, you know, slight somebody's child and nothing like that. But it's just like, that was a big slap in the face. But anyway, and then this is where Sai brings up the fact that she is coordinating this whole dodgeball event for them. Moving right along, Jessel, Erin, and Brynn, they have lunch, and Brynn, she starts talking about her little app or whatever. Don't really care too much about that. And even Jessel was like, I really just don't know what Brynn does, though, at the same time. It's like, they don't even know. And y'all work together on the show. So what? Make it make sense. What else happened in this scene? So Brynn says that she had called Jenna the next day, and she was shocked by what Jenna had to say about Jessel when she asked her if she thought that Jessel was a basic B. And so Jessel, apparently Brynn said that Jenna said that Jessel was cute. And so Brynn asked her, like, yes or no, like, do you think that Jessel's like a basic B or whatever? And Jenna said she'll have to think about that. Like, she relayed this conversation completely how it did not happen. And I feel like when we got that flashback, Jessel was trying to set the stage for Jenna to say something incriminating in order for her to then take it on back and tell Jessel to start mess. Like, she actually, yes, she was fully trying to start mess. Shout out to production for playing the clip back. that's not at all what Jenna said in this at all. And if I was Jenna, I would have caught wind to what Brynn was doing, and I probably just hung up in her face, honestly. So of course, the way that Brynn is translating the conversation is relaying the conversation. It's going to get Jessel, on the defense and have her feeling some type of way towards Jenna now. So we're gonna have to deal with that later on, right? Is this where Brynn admits to stirring the pot? The devil's in the details. Yeah. And she actually, Jessel or Brynn knew exactly what she was doing in this moment, and she actually admitted it to us. And I was just like so disgusted by her and the antics, because it just like I am with everything that we're seeing on the show right now. It's not cute. It's giving you guys are going through hoops and hurdles in order to produce a show that last time I checked had its own independent production team. Why are you doing the most right now? Why are you trying to create fake drama right now? And that's what this entire episode was, back to front. But not only does Brynn let them know that, but Erin actually decides that this is a time where she's going to tell them about this alleged rumor that she heard through a mutual friend that she has, a mutual friend of hers and Rebecca's, that apparently Rebecca is pregnant, and it may or may not be by her husband. So of course, Jessel and Brynn like being like two of the like, especially obviously Brynn being like the messiest person on this cast right now. She's like, she had asked like who's the dad and all that, and Erin's like, hasn't been confirmed everything to her, but like she heard through the grapevine pretty much. So we're gonna have to deal with that, obviously. Jessel's like, oh my god, like she's still breastfeeding, like this is crazy. Like they're completely taken aback. And by this time, I had forgot all about the fact that this was apparently supposed to be made up. And I'm sitting here thinking like, oh my God, Rebecca, you need to not be friends with Erin. Like you need to not come back on this next season, because it's like they used her for clout. It seems like they used her name for clout. They used her to come on here and make storylines off of her back, rather than them actually telling the truth in their own lives, what's really going on in their own lives. Like, just corny AF, y'all. We got a little scene between Racquel and Mel. I really do like Mel. She seems smart AF. They had a double date with Abe and Erin, and they were actually at a like gay bar, which was cool or whatever. And at first, Mel thought that Abe was kind of like giving bro vibes, but turns out that he has a lot of lesbian sensibilities about himself. And he actually expounds upon this by saying that back in college, he's never kissed a guy or anything like that, but he was tempted in college and he almost came really close. And there was even a point in time where he questioned his sexuality. So at least Abe is living in his truth. If nobody else on the show is, I guess we could say at least Abe is in this moment, right? Okay. Kudos to you, Abe. And this is actually where we learn a bit more about Racquel. And it's like Racquel is also giving her truth, but it's just so out of place in this show, because everybody is giving bits and pieces of themselves instead of giving the whole thing. We're not seeing the drama really play out on screen. We're not really invested in these people's lives because it's just like so all over the place and not enough for us to really sink our teeth in. But she says basically she always knew, that she had these feelings inside of her, but she didn't really action on it until she started modeling over in Italy and stuff like that. And her marriage wasn't that he was bad and necessarily as much as just the marriage in general was bad and or not healthy. And yeah, but whatever. And she decided to fully go full throttle after that ended, and she hasn't looked back since. Next up, we get this little scene between Jessel and her mom. Nothing really major happened with this. Nothing really major happened with that. Honestly, it was just her mom or her spending Pavitt's credit card money on some gifts for her mom, and she tells her mom about like how the conversation went with Pavitt or whatever. We know how that went, but she has since found a therapist that's based in Mexico City, if I'm not mistaken. So fingers crossed that Pavitt will be receptive to that, because they actually may have some, you know, similar palettes. So we'll just have culinary palettes. We'll just have to see. I don't know. We'll have to see. I want to say that was it. And then, of course, she tells her mom about the tea on Rebecca, and her mom told her to stay out of it. And I was like, listen to your mama. Mama knows best, right? Okay. Moving along. Why do I have so many notes on this? I don't, like, it's not even that much that even happened, y'all. Like, I don't even know how I am pulling blood from a rock right now. I don't even know how we've been on here for 16 minutes. Anyway, wrapping it up, we get to the dodgeball game, and basically what happens is they all show up first. Everybody except for Ubah, I want to say, showed up after Rebecca and Erin. But it's like Brynn side, Jessel, and Brynn side, Jessel, Jenna comes in. And so I think it was Brynn that decided to tell them about this rumor and stuff. And they were all obviously like taken aback and stuff too. And I love when Jessel referred to Brynn as Gossip Girl, because that's exactly what I feel like she was doing. And my whole thing is, and I feel like I hope this is brought up, since this was allegedly like some rumor or whatever, and some fake storyline, this whole pregnancy thing, this pregnancy prank. I'm just wondering if anybody's going to call Brynn out, because in this moment, Brynn tries to say that she actually called some like old coworkers or something, because her and Gavin, which is Rebecca's husband, I guess, they used to work together, and they have some, you know, mutual colleagues or, you know, whatever. And she says that she actually called them, and they confirmed that this is the type of antics that Gavin and Rebecca are known to have in their marriage and stuff like that. So I hope somebody calls her out on that, because I'm under the belief that this was completely just Erin and Rebecca's prank. They were behind this, and nobody else was actually privy to knowing that this was a prank going on. So again, if that is the case, Brynn just completely pulled this out of her ass, and that is next level psychotic. And I wonder if Erin did that on purpose to highlight the fact that Brynn be making stuff up and creating drama and stuff like that. I wonder if she did this to put Brynn on blast. I don't know the reason behind it. I think it was fucking stupid as hell, actually. And Ubah comes, Sai actually pulls her to the side to tell her, and Ubah's like, oh my God, Pigeon's doing what they do best. Like, this is like, she thinks this is messy and stuff like that. And it's like, on one hand, I completely agree with Ubah, because this is mess and stupidity. But at the same time, I'm like, if y'all were actually doing the show, how the show is supposed to be done, okay, I wonder if anybody would like, Ubah, this is how the show works at the same time. Like, it's usually founded on real dramas and real life events and stuff like that. That's what we like to see, is real stuff. But at the same time, it's drama nonetheless. So I just don't think that maybe this is the best type of show for someone like Ubah, because that's just the name of the game, boo. It is. She wasn't even participating, and I'm not trying to downplay what's going on with her, like medically and stuff like that. I totally get that, but it's just like, I don't understand anybody's place on the cast right now. I really kind of don't. In general, I don't really feel like at this point this group is really working, obviously. But since we're just talking about Ubah specifically in this moment, I will say that like she shows up like kind of like on the tail end of stuff, or she's just kind of like, you know, I don't want to say an outlier, but she's kind of like on an island of her own a lot of times with stuff. So I'm like, I'm not understanding, like, what is the glue in this group? Like, what do y'all, what's going on here? For real. So they play and everything. Jenna got her glasses knocked off. And then afterwards, when they actually, I should say, Brynn actually, Rebecca at this moment, I guess, didn't know the elephant in the room, or maybe she did. And looking back on it, I'm guessing she did, which is why she kept saying like, "Oh yeah, I'm just been feeling a little nauseous," or this and that, and playing into the loaded questions that Brynn was asking. But afterwards, during the cool down circle, and like, you know, as they're stretching and stuff like that, it's actually Jenna that leans over to Rebecca to say like, "Hey, like, I don't want to get into it right now. Just watch your back," basically, is what she tells her, because there's some rumors and mess going around about you right now. And she's like, "Who said it?" or whatever. And Jenna like didn't say anything at first, but then she's like, you know, say it with your eyes. And she looks at Erin, and so then Rebecca turns to Erin and is like, "You told them? Like, what did you say? Like, you effing told her?" And Erin's like, "No, I didn't tell her. I didn't tell her anything. Like, what are you talking about?" And Rebecca's like, "What did you say?" And Erin's like, you know, she says that she only told Jessel and Brynn. And Jessel, it was a little funny when Jessel was like, "Congrats," in the midst of all of this, but only for then Erin and Rebecca to jump up and act like they're so upset in the moment, only for them to say like "Oh, that was good." And that's where it cuts off with and not even just that, as much as it's to be continued. What do we have to continue? This was completely contrived and just stupid as hell. And even Andy himself on Watch What Happens Live thought this stuff was stupid as hell. What are y'all doing? That's a straight up mock. I'm just so over this show right now. I'm only thugging it out for y'all, as I say, week after week, because we're not even talking about real anymore. And what really pisses me off is that so much of the trailer and previews and stuff like that we've seen surrounding this season has been based around this prank. It's not even a concrete situation. Like, are we serious? Like, we got people having whole DUIs on other franchises, having whole legal issues, going off to jail, prison. We got freaking people having IVF journeys, people getting divorces for real. Like, we have real stuff going on other franchises. I bet they are laughing at y'all right now, because are you guys serious? This is the best you guys could do? You don't have nothing else going on that you could have put out there? It entertained us with. And even more so, I'm even more so on Rebecca's ass once again, because I gave her a second chance when the season even kicked off, because I had already caught wind that she was trying to fake a storyline between her and Jenna about whose style is better or something. And I thought that was BS. Only for them to now fast forward to this, and we find out that this is BS and your name is attached to it as well. But I'm not just even blaming just you. I'm blaming everybody right now, because we're not getting anything entertaining on this show right now. But y'all, that's it. That's all I got. I've given this 23 minutes longer than I should have even gave it. Nonetheless, same time, same week, same thing next week. Oh, I hate to even say that, but I'm sticking it out for you all. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think this was some bullshit? Because I definitely do, as you guys have heard during this video. Don't forget to like the video. If you have not liked the video, like the video. I see y'all watching. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you are subscribed. We're on the road to 600 subscribers. So y'all know what to do. And I'll see you later. Bye.